simple but healthy recipe to give you a fresh start on your food. Today we're going to detox, and all that means is removing toxins from your bodies, getting those impurities out. And today we're going to show you, I'm going to show you how to make my delicious detox soup, because when the weather starts to get cool, which it is going to be happening very soon, we would love to have a nice, warm, cozy bowl of soup. Right, Dr. Steve?
Oh, I love it, especially when the weather gets cold. It's the only way I get through my day.
Absolutely. But first, I'm going to take a second to introduce you to my tasters over here that we grabbed from the audience, Angela and Kristen. All right. How you ladies doing?
Hi. Thanks for having us.
Thanks for being here. All right, so have you ever done like a detox soup or just a detox period?
I've done a detox, never a soup though. So
Never
I'm
a soup,
excited,
okay.
yes.
All right, do you cook?
Yes.
Yes.
I'm Italian, so yes.
She's like, do I cook?
I don't have a choice. I don't have a choice.
All right, so this should be good. And, you know, with my recipes, you don't have to do it the way I do it. You can make it your way. And, you know, you can make it low sodium, which is where you get in trouble with the soups.
Yeah.
People think that they're going to eat soup and they're going to save calories, and then they've got all that sodium in there. So let's get right to this. We've got some shredded cabbage here and carrots and our vegetables, and it's really all going to go into one pot. And right now I've got some beautiful onions sauteing here with some olive oil. Doesn't that smell good?
Yeah,
like, ladies,
that.
if you just want to do the old trick, just put some onions and olive oil and let it cook. People think you're making a gourmet meal,
It's
right?
so great. The
It's
whole
so
house
true, right?
smells nice.
You hadn't
Everyone's
even
like, "Ooh, what's she
started
cooking?"
yet. You don't even know what you're making yet. You're just sauteing onions, right? All right, so I'm just going to put my lid right here, and we are just going to put everything in the pot. There's no rhyme or reason. I've shredded this cabbage nice and
So
thin.
you put that in before you put the liquid? You put
I
the
do,
vegetables
yeah.
in.
I just put all my vegetables in, because what I sometimes do is I might put the lid back on it and let it steam a little bit and cook a little bit more, so the flavors can get all mixed in.
Right.
And the flavors start to come out more when you cook it a little
Yeah,
bit.
I
So
agree, okay.
I've got cabbage, I've got my carrots, I've got some celery salt. I actually love celery salt, so I'm just going to put like 1, 2, 3 pinches, big pinches, not little pinches, right? Then I'm going to put some little bit of pepper in here. Boom.
Nice.
Or a lot. I actually like pepper. And my other thing that I really like is garlic powder. I eat so much garlic. My friends are like, we're all eating garlic. I'm like,
Together.
oh yeah,
Yeah, you
together.
gotta do it as a team.
We do
It's
it
a
as a
team
team.
activity.
And lastly, we're going to throw in our kale. Kale is so hearty, and it's so delicious. And it's just going to, you know, when it cooks down, it's still going to be hearty.
Right.
So you're getting a lot of vegetables in this soup. And, you know, it's going to be a healthy alternative that you can say, okay, you know what, I'm going to give my body a break today, and I'm just going to have a soup day. I love soup days.
So I got to ask you something. I know kale is super popular. I'm not a huge kale fan.
You're not?
Not a huge fan, but you were saying that it doesn't have to be exactly your way. You can change. So let's say I wanted to put spinach in. Would that work
You
instead?
can
Because I love
totally
spinach,
put
right?
spinach. And I love that. That's a
Right.
great question, Dr. Steve, because there's a couple things I've found out that you're not really that crazy about.
Yes, there's a few.
Just a few. So I think we all have those things. Like, I don't like celery, so I didn't put celery in my soup. But if you like celery,
Put it
chop up some celery and put it right in there. I'm actually using, I just want to point this out, this is low sodium chicken stock.
Right.
As I said, the name of the game here is giving your body an opportunity to take a break and take in a lot of nutrients and nutritious vegetables. By adding a lot of salt, you kind of defeat the purpose when you do that. So go for your low sodium broths. And I know I use chicken stock, but if you are a vegetarian, just use vegetable stock. You know, it works that way. So now we're just going to put the lid back on. You're going to cook it for about 30 minutes, all right? And boom, you've got soup, not just for today. You've got soup for like 3 or 4 days. I usually pull out my biggest pot when I make soup, because what you don't eat, you can always throw it in the freezer and have it for later.
Yeah, that's the best way.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
All right, you guys ready for some soup?
So ready.
It smells so good. And I love cooking soup, and it just kind of, you know, floats through the entire house, and you're like, oh my gosh, this is getting good. It's getting good.
Especially in the winter.
Right? In the winter when you're locked up in the house and it's too cold to go outside. Or there's a foot of snow.
Something like that. Right? Ooh, look at that.
Look at that, see? And so I know, Dr. Steve, that you are not crazy about the kale.
Okay.
But now that the kale is cooked down,
Yeah.
I'm going to give some
Oh,
little
yeah.
broth
Leave that
right
broth
there.
in
Look
there.
at that.
Yeah, look at
Here,
that.
you want that?
Oh, no,
hold
ladies
on.
first. Ladies first.
Okay.
Ladies
Oh, look at,
first.
you're such a gentleman.
I'm trying.
I'm trying to take care of my co-host here. All right, Angela, that's for you.
Can't wait.
And then, let's see,
Mm-hmm.
Kristen. Soups are an amazing dish to have on hand,
Right.
especially if you're just trying to, in the winter, we all put on that extra little winter coat, right, because we're trying to stay
do,
warm.
yep.
And soups are just a great way to kind of interject, you know, from those hearty meals when you're trying to
Yeah.
like have a stew because you want to be extra warm, and chili's really popular in the winter.
Oh, yeah.
So here, Dr. Steve, I'll give you
you.
a little more.
So good. to
See,
me.
there you
you.
go. Loving on the doctor today with food. You know, food
Oh,
is
yeah.
love. Food is love. Hang
Right.
on a second.
Oh, we
Let
gotta
me hit you
garnish.
with a
Yeah,
little
girl.
garnish.
There
A
you
little
go.
garnish.
Thank you.
Here you go, Dr. Steve.
Look at
Boom.
that.
There you
Look
go.
at that.
All right.
Okay.
All good? We're good?
All right.
Now it's time to taste. We're going to put this dish to the taste test.
I'm going to get some kale in it.
Yeah,
Oh, look,
right?
he's going
Because
after the
you
kale.
said-
Look
you
at
said
you.
do it, so I'm gonna-
I'm so
Go for the kale.
impressed. You know, Dr. Steve made a very good point. I just want to reiterate it.
Wow.
Any recipes that you see here on Dr. and the Diva that I give to
really
you,
good, right?
by all means, mix it up, switch it out, take it out, put it in. After all, I'm not there eating it. It's you. You have to eat
Yeah.
that. All right,
It's really
Angela,
good.
what do you think?
I love it.
You
and
do?
I'm like, I can say I'm kind of like a soup Nazi where like, your soup has to be good for me to say it's good. Do you know what I mean? Like, I have a high
Right,
level
yeah.
of like.
Sure.
And it's so good. It has all those like flavors in it.
All those flavors. Kristen, what do you think?
Oh, I love it.
All right, you love it?
Yes.
Good.
It's so good.
Good.
It's almost like you can eat it throughout the day, too. It doesn't
Yeah.
just have to be
No,
for,
not at all.
for lunch, you
Right.
know.
Love
That's
it.
the best
Right.
part.
Dr.
It
Steve
feels
likes it.
good, yeah.
It's really
Yeah.
good, I have to tell you. The kale is good with the broth on it because it kind of takes it down. You know,
Yeah,
for me,
absolutely.
kale's always been a little
it's
bitter.
not, kale can be
Yeah.
intimidating,
Yeah.
and kale can be a bit intrusive, right?
Exactly.
Because the leaf is dense, it's hardy, and the texture. But once it cooks down and you put it with other things, then it's
Fantastic.
just kind of, it
Yeah.
becomes, it plays well with
Exactly.
other vegetables.
Yes.
How about that?
But I think I have a new name for it.
What?
Because with all the cabbage, I think we should call it the gimme gas soup. Gimme gas
So
soup.
you will definitely have a little bit of that going on, you know what I'm saying? But you're going to feel so good once it's all out,
But
all right?
it is really good.
And here's a little tip for you guys. This is what I do. You want to beef this soup up a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
If you have chicken or you have steak the night before and you got a little leftover,
Put in.
throw
That's
it
a good
right in
idea.
there, warm that thing up, and it
could,
becomes
like,
a
shred it
complete
probably,
meal.
like,
It
shred
becomes,
it.
yeah,
Yeah.
I
becomes
could
a
even
complete
think
meal.
of like some little orzo pasta in here.
Ooh, that's
You know,
a
to give it
good
little,
one.
like,
Oh, I
little
love
bite to it.
this.
Yeah.
This is what being
See,
in the
this is what it
kitchen,
is.
this is what it's all about. You know, you take a recipe
Yeah.
and, you know, all of a sudden, one recipe, we just came up with 6 more recipes,
Exactly.
right?
Fantastic.
I love it. For this recipe, you can go to dranddiva.com. The full recipe is going to be there. And don't go anywhere because there's more Fresh Start Friday after this.
Nice.